and Jennifer from Team Impact. Today we have our special guest, Ms. Sangeeta Singh, who is working as a Senior Director at Simplify Healthcare. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Marlene.
It's a great pleasure to have you with us on this session, ma'am.
Same here.
Let me dive into the questions straight. What inspired you or what sparked your passion towards the field that you're working in now?
When I came to do my MBA 20 years back, I was not very sure what to pick up. And there were a lot of options available like finance, marketing, HR, and at that time the MBA in IT was something which was very new. So a lot of students were picking that up because being a IT driven world, people thought that this is going to be something which will change their life. But while I was studying, and I realized that my passion does lie in more of HR kind of roles, because when we were studying the basics of HRM, I did realize that I do connect with these kind of things that we're reading and learning, and that's how I ended up there. But I did not want to box myself only into HR. That's the reason I did a dual specialization, HR plus marketing, because communication and connecting was something which I always enjoyed. So I think from there onwards, getting into HR concepts, understanding how they relate to our psyche and how people get, we can get things done from people without even them realizing that we are asking them to do certain things is something which I really liked.
Wow, ma'am, that's really nice. Which may leads me to the second question. Ma'am, along the career path, you had lots of experience from varied sections, and there's a lot of skills that you've acquired throughout. So, could you share some biggest life lessons that you've learned along the way?
There are a lot of life lessons, but I think some of them which stayed with me for quite some time were creating a strong sisterhood, I would call, or a bond with the females around you, because being a lady, career sometimes takes a back seat, because there are life events that happen when you get married, when you have kids. You have to kind of step a little back and then get back into your career again. So I think that's the time when you get a super solid support if you have a group of women supporting you, because there are a lot of things that only a lady can teach you while you're at work. And I think I was absolutely fortunate to have that group around me, because when my son was like 4 months old, I was back in office, and the guilt used to kill me, because leaving a little toddler at home and you are in office. I had a very strong leader who I used to report to at that time, and she used to tell me that it's completely okay to choose your career. I don't say that leave your kids back and don't take care of them. Women are capable of doing both. So I think those kind of supports and lessons which a sisterhood gives you, nobody can give.
Wow, that's something really wholesome, that you acknowledge the support that you receive during the most needed times from your sisters, if I can say.
Absolutely. You see, if you look at the academic record, there are women who top the class 10th exam also, class 12th exam also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Even in engineering, you would see that there are more women who are doing well in the academics.
True, ma'am.
But you would see very less CEOs who are women. Why? Because we don't get enough support to grow in our career. There are times where we have to take a break, we have to set back, and when we take a break, I think our industry or the corporate world is not equipped enough to bring us back in the line, because I have taken a break. My skills are 3 years old or 2 years old. How to reskill me and bring me back is something which lacks. So we lose a lot of talent like that. So rebadging and bringing people back is not something that we focus on.
True, ma'am. That's a really common problem that we notice it everywhere. In every domain we notice it. Which leads me to my Another question. You said you took a break and you again relaunched yourself
No,
back.
I did not take a break.
You did not.
I joined immediately after my maternity, but I have friends who took a break, and they did struggle to get back to work. They had to take lower salaries, smaller roles, and then when age is catching up, you would have younger bosses to deal with. So that also becomes a little bit of difficulty. So I think that has been the case. But I was fortunate enough to have enough support at home and in office to get back after maternity.
That's absolutely wonderful, ma'am. Along your career, you would have obviously faced a lot of obstacles in the way. And being a woman in a male-dominated career, there's obviously a lot more that we face. So, how did you overcome those obstacles?
I think the only way to overcome them is to know your craft well. If you don't know that, then whether you are a lady or a man, you would not be appreciated. And another thing that I've noticed is we do get support only if we ask for. Most of the time, people don't ask for help if they're stuck.
True.
They feel that how would I be perceived if I tell that I don't know this or I don't know how to resolve this. So asking for help does not show that you are weak. I think asking for help shows that you're strong enough to acknowledge that I don't know this and I want to learn and resolve it. So I think that's more important than being a male dominated or a female dominated thing. I think till the time you don't know your skill or your craft well, doesn't matter. Your gender doesn't matter.
Wow.
You can walk into a room full of men, and if you know your subject well, if you know your skill well, if you know your job well, all of them will respect you. You can walk in a room full of women, and if you don't know your subject well, even the women will not support you.
I really love that perspective, ma'am. That's something really inspiring. That's something that puts food to thought.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, I was going through your profile and you have multiple downloads and multiple respected, and it was just mind blowing. And I was wondering, how does your normal day look like at work?
At work, okay, my normal day looks like I walk into the office. The first thing I need is my cup of coffee. Then I meet my team. We look at the day, how it is planned for everybody. I ask everyone anything that they feel is difficult and they need any support or any inputs from me, I do give them. And then as a ritual, we ensure that the whole team eats together in the afternoon. So our lunch is together, and during the lunch time, we ensure we don't talk about work. We talk about things other than work so that we bond well over other things also, other than they being reporting to me or I being their boss. The third thing that is very important for us is while we're winding our day up, we do check with everybody that did the day go well? Is there anything that they missed doing, and why did they miss doing it? Do they need any support there? Even if I'm not around, my team would ask each other and support each other. So we've created an ecosystem where it's more like a one team, one goal, rather than everybody chasing their own goals. And we believe that the success will only come if we help succeed each other. So if I have to, grow, I have to ensure that somebody takes my place in the office, and then I take a bigger role. So I always ensure that my successor, they should have a couple of options to pick out of them. They should not be only one person. So the management should think that they have enough and more options if they have to move me in a different role or a bigger role.
It's really unique, ma'am, the way you work and how the environment you create, where it's work specific during work time and it's completely friendly environment during lunch times. That's something that we all need to learn from.
Thank you.
It's something really inspiring, ma'am. And my question is, what advice would you give to young individuals, especially younger girls, who want to pursue the same as you pursued in your career?
I think the number one thing that we don't give too much importance is support from the family. We either take it for granted or we don't think that they're good enough to support us. but I give credit for my success to my father and my husband. Because when I was not married, my dad was somebody who supported me big time, saying that dream big, go and achieve that. And when I was married, my husband told me that, if you think that sitting at home and taking care of the house is the only job that you can do better, I think then you are undermining yourself. So I get enough and more support from my family, and then I created a nice big ecosystem in the office where we support each other, where we have time or places or venues where people can come and ask for help. We make it very open. I have had people coming to me in my team telling me that I feel I will not be able to carry on with this job because my son is in class 6 and my daughter is in class 8 and I'm not giving them enough time. They're not able to study, they're not doing well in their studies. What do I do? I have even gone out and helped them getting the right tutors for their kids because my kid is older than theirs. So I could refer tutors to them because I think these are very small things, but they matter a lot because that's the time when they need a support, not which is a professional support but a very personal level support. If you don't support your team like that, I think you will never be able to get the best out of them. And I was always supported like this by my bosses, so I ensure that I do the same for my team. So I think that's one thing women should learn, that family definitely plays a major role in their success, and then comes their corporate friends who play a really, really great role in their career.
That's fantastic, ma'am. From all your answers, I've learned is everywhere you go, the one word you highlight is support.
Absolutely.
Be it family members or colleagues, you get support from each and everyone. That's something truly awesome, and we all have to acknowledge and put our focus more on that. This leads me to the last question. In these years of working a lot and in various disciplines, is there any breakthrough moment in your career which changed the trajectory or which defined the trajectory that you have right now?
I think Simplify was the breakthrough in my career. I was with my earlier organization for almost 8 years and I was doing pretty well there. And then I took a break of 1 year because similarly, like I was telling you earlier, I started feeling I'm not spending enough time with my son. He was around 9 years old, 10 years old at that time, and I felt that he needed that support at that time. So I took a break from my career and I was at home for almost 9 months. And then when I realized that he's pretty much settled now and I need to get back to work. And before I realized that, my son realized it because he realized I was not enjoying being at home all the time. So he started telling me, I think you should go back to office. So that's when I started looking for a job. Simplify happened to me. Simplify at that time was a small organization. I was hired to lead the HR team in India at that time. And I think they gave me an opportunity to do anything and everything under the sun that comes under the purview of HR. They allowed me to make mistakes, they allowed me to fail, they allowed me to do things differently, and for all that I did, I was massively rewarded. So my career took a big, steep growth, graph during my stay with Simplify. So I think I give a lot of credit to Simplify for acknowledging the work that I've done for them, because you do work at a lot of places. There are very few organizations who genuinely want to acknowledge the good work you do. I think our organization does a really, really good job in acknowledging the good work done by the employees. I'm one example.
That's amazing, ma'am. From each and every answer, I'm learning a lot of things. A lot of things that I need myself to remind of. So obviously, our listeners have to remind themselves of that. Thank you for such an inspiring session, ma'am. It was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you.